what all I was to say, you have already said, but I have to say it in different frames, So today's topic is, the dreams, reincarnation, and the chosen ones by the perfect living master. So the subject is starting from the dreams. Now, I would like to say the same thing which you right now said, that it is the divine who speaks out of you. You don't. Because whatever flows in, the kind of shabads you play, then you take up Rumi or any other Hafiz, etc. Their stories and their couplets are there and you explain them so well. That's good, great. So now today we are going to talk about the dreams. And I would like to say that all of us go through dreams, at different times. And those dreams have got a tremendous amount of meaning. Basically, this dreaming area is in our astral mind and astral body, because we are here in this small window of about 100 years in a physical form now, in this incarnation where we are born. And in this, we are settling our accounts, as Michael said, that we are here all the time to settle our accounts. And for that, we will have to come here and then settle our accounts with the people who are around there. But there are people in those dreams also, because the master said that sometimes you pay off your accounts in your astral form also, because the time passes so quickly there. Here, the time passes differently, and 5 minutes of a dream can show you the whole life. You would have heard from Ishwar Puriji on this, that how really this happens. Now, even he told Arjuna to take a dip in the water. Lord Krishna's example is there. Then he could see many of his lifetimes within that small little dipping into the water. Now there also, it is managing your karmas. So basically, I am trying to say that whatever happens in your dreams is practically settling your accounts, and don't worry on that part, that what kind of a dream had come and what are the repercussions of that dream, what will happen next to you, because you have got an ability to face things as they come in life. The soul has got all those abilities, so it can go through anything. And then we say, Tera bhana meetha lage, means the way you keep us, we'll be happily living that way without making any grudges here and there. The same thing applies in the astral dream also. In your dream, whatever is happening, he's trying to settle your karmas in the shortest possible time, because he'll be able to square it of many, many births, which you are going through. So looking into those dreams, is very, very important. But then at the same time, we should live those dreams, because that this 100 years of window is a dream, as Michael was just saying some time back, that this looks like a trash once you are in your astral form. And that is where you can understand things a little more clearly. And once you rise little above, then you see this, all that astral is also a garbage. Then that is more real in your causal area. And there, once you go little up, then you can see that that causal area was also a part of the dream. The DVD which you had selected was there, and you are that one. And so nicely, we all here in this satsang group, we are so lucky that all those nitty-gritties have been told to us by Ishwar Puriji And there are certain basic things which I am trying to explain here. Michael explains, and all those speakers and sevadars. Especially Visheshji is talking on Kabir Sahab about that book, which is reading Anurag Sagar, and Prem Palchi's satsangs, all those things are time and again trying to tell us and repeat again and again the total concept, in different words, which are understandable. We are so lucky that everybody explains and reinforces our things. Now, here I have to tell you something in this physical form. Once we are here, we have got a selfish genes with us because it has developed right from the beginning from a single cell when we were graduating to the crown of Krishna, the human body. And once we assumed a human body, we started thinking that everything is needed for our body. And the body needs, as I always say, hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep, etc. Now, these requirements, they were to satisfy your own self, and then feed this body all the time and giving it a priority. And that priority makes us with this selfish genes, So we have developed our genes accordingly. What really happens? Our beliefs do the programming of our cells. So all over these years, right from those initial years when the apes became humans, and since then, we've been trying to look after our own self, our own body. And that was a priority. So that priority helped us developing the selfish genes. And these selfish genes were involving us into time and material. Because here there is a law. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So as Michael was again telling in today's talk also, that this is what we sow, so shall we reap. So with all that, it keeps on happening and we are stuck up here. Now something wonderful is there, that how to make the selfless genes. If you look at the nature, something wonderful you will find, that seed which is producing so many wheats, that seed which is producing so many mangoes, they are not producing it for themselves. They are for others, The birds will eat, the animals will eat, the human beings will eat. It is a seva. Now looking at this, that if you develop those selfless genes, this is what is seva. Even here, all the sevadars are trying to do that seva, because that is what is the gist of life. And these beliefs that we are born to do seva, and that seva will do the programming of our cells again, because the beliefs have done the programming of our selfish genes we developed, and all the time we've been thinking of self. And that's how, if we start working on those areas, that beliefs do the programming of our cells, total system. And that's why we got to understand this part. As in some of my talks I say that the philosophy develops psychology and psychology develops behavior. So now this philosophy of Sant Mat tells you to do seva. And you will find in Gurdwaras they will do that langar seva, And nowadays under the COVID problems, many places the Gurdwara has been doing that service, serving others, And now what really happens? That the mind keeps on giving you those doubts, and those doubts will always create problems. Now what really happens, that in this life, what dreams we say, sometimes during the day we have got certain doubts on those things, and these doubts will appear as a dream within our body to sort out certain things, to sort out our karmas. Sometimes we see some people, as I could know that there are strange kind of faces we encounter in our dreams, which those people, we don't know them here in this small little window of 100 years, but there we have got thousands of years of a human life in the astral mind and astral body. Of course, we have got millions of years from the single cell to graduate to the crown of creation, the human body, crossing 8.4 million species. So what really happens that every time we die here in the physical form, go back to the astral, again manage those karmas, the sanchit, the prarabdha karmas, and out of that we take and again take a birth here. Now the mind, how this mind which is dealing with information system and laws of nature, every action has got an equal and opposite reaction, organizes that the same mind and the soul is trapped again into a material body, and then again we take this birth and again go back and come back here. Now in this back and forth, there are many karmas which we settle in our astral areas. There, if we can see some dreams and say something very bad happens in a dream, somebody has died or an accident has taken place with one of your relatives is involved in that, and you are just crying and you are seeing that he has lost his life and all. It is all happening in the dream. And I could see some people really getting hallucinations in the dreams, They just are crying there, and they move so badly, their bodies move, and sometimes they fell from the bed down, and sometimes they broke their bones also. So this is what is happening in those dreams, and these dreams are managing our karmas also there. So if we understand that the people who have been initiated, they know this, that even in the astral form, as Ishwar Puriji has always given us a better method of meditating there in the astral mind and astral body instead of physical, because physical will keep you involved here. But if you sit there in that chamber behind these two eyes, where he tells you the area which is known as astral mind and astral body, it is so quick. The meditation becomes much faster because you are not bothered about this physical part, and you are sitting in meditation in your astral mind and astral body, where you have put all that furniture. How nicely Ishwar Puriji been explaining this part, that you don't need money to put all that furniture there. You can select a nice chair, you have not to pay money for that. Through imagination, you can make it there. You sit there and start meditating. So what I like to say here, that in those dreams, you can easily pass without getting hurt, because all that is happening as the earth is moving. The whole cosmos is moving in a predestined movement. And we all decided this predestined life, which is going on. So let us face as it comes. It is an inherent ability of the soul. So if you remember, even there, that all these dreams are happening there, and if you are doing your Simran in those dreams also, it helps you a lot, and it gives you that energy to go a step ahead into the causal area from the astral, because you are doing your Simran there, and now you have made your permanent seat. Whenever you want to sit on meditation, sit comfortably, make your this physical body comfortable here, but immediately and through your imagination you jump at that point, because Ishwar Puriji explained it beautifully well, I tell you. He has given us those clues and tools that how we can imagine and jump there in our astral mind and astral body, and sitting there and starting our meditation from there. So what really happens? It makes it so easy to go to the causal area. And of course, there you took all that, because there also you can get into those dreams, because you selected. You know that what you have asked for experience in this time-bound material creation. How you created your DVD, he says, how you decided that how you will come here and then meet all these kind of people. So all pleasures and pains you selected. Now, if you have selected, so please don't cry for them. Let them happen, because it is all predestined. So how to face things as they come is an inherent ability of your soul. And if you can really rely on that and believe in yourself, because this is again a belief, my dear. Belief means that you got to understand through this Sant Mat philosophy that you are a soul and you have acquired the mind, you created this body into stages. How you created all that, many times we have heard this part. So all the satsangis here can really enjoy this. And now I would like to say that tremendous amount of information we collect. Well, we've been dealing in different religions earlier. We have got all those beliefs. So to remove those beliefs, we got to do unlearning and then learn afresh. So this is what is the key area, that to unlearn all those beliefs which we have formed and then to learn something new. And that what new is? That the outer expression of your soul is your attention, which is like an omni scanner and which is connected to its source in real time. This is what is wisdom. And knowledge is being collected by the mind because it is information based, my dear. So all that information which you have collected all your life based on those experiences and events of your life, and the information you gathered from the books you read of your course books, in your schools and colleges and engineering and everything. And then you have learned something at home, at the school, at the society, and you collect all that together and create that huge knowledge, so much of information with you. Now, your attention is wisdom, my dear. And this wisdom is, as I say, that the outer expression of your soul is your attention. And this attention is like an omni scanner. I use this word, This is a coin word which has descended. And I am speaking that because everybody speaks what he wants us to speak. Michael speaks what descends on him. And different things descend and we speak. So as a Sevadar, I am also speaking what is descending. And all that your attention is like an omni scanner, which can see and act in all the directions. It's a capable force. Because wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows, we say that. Now, this attention, which is like an omni scanner, can pick up the information from the knowledge, which is in our mind. What is mind? It is information based. And now with this philosophy, this ignorant mind has been told by time and again in these satsangs that we are that divine, we are not this mind, we are not this body. So that attention, which is like an omni scanner, can scan all that information of the mind, the experiences and events of your life, and then can pick up all those things, which are going to make your life easier and happier. So that is what is the wisdom, to pick up that information from the knowledge which you have gained, which the mind has got, that storehouse, and all that information is there in the universal mind also. As I always explain, that the universal mind runs your mind, you don't run it. Through high tide, low tide, it triggers the blood flow, because in Seas also, you can see that water going up and down. So it triggers certain components of the brain, and there it makes you to behave like that, and you do certain actions, which is karma part. And now this is what is predestined. So you have been told in the satsang by Ishwar Puriji also that please don't feel guilty about it, because we keep on getting into that guilt that we have done something bad. But this was predestined, my dear. This belief that whatever has happened, you have not to be guilty on anything, because now luckily in these satsangs we have understood we are a soul, and soul is part of the absolute. It is never bad. It is the purest thing. But the acquired mind and this body together, they work, together in tandem to create emotions. And emotions will create a terrorist out of you, as I say. So these emotions will make you do things. They will trigger those high tide, low tides will trigger your brain, and you may do that. So please don't feel guilty if something has happened in life, because it was predestined. As you know, some of the stories of the great master, that somebody came, he was initiated, he was a bad person, but then he went back and did again those bad things. Came back to the master, please excuse me for that, forgive me for that. And he has forgiven him. And once he goes back, he again does that. And that's how all others were talking about that you are doing this, and time and again he will keep on doing it. And the great master says that my job is to forgive, and this forgiving is the key, and that's what is so important. So now he forgives. So please never feel guilty about anything, because this is what will hold your advances. This will hold your advances towards your meditation. You won't be able to do that. So it will create hurdles, because that guilt, which is boiling your mind up and down, it won't allow you to sit in meditation in peace. So the wisdom tells you, as you know, that you have got an inherent ability to face things as they come in your life. So take it easy and have your faith, because you are the selected ones. Now the last line of today's program is that how perfect living master is looking after those chosen ones, how things happen. In their lives, they may be having little more difficulties, because he wants you to settle all your accounts in this particular lifetime. And once you can settle all your accounts in this lifetime, becomes easier for you to go back to your source. So please don't be afraid of all that, because this is a dream. You have been told that this small little window of less than 100 years is a dream. So please do that. Keep that faith in you that perfect living master has selected you, and he knows that the soul has got the ability to face things as they come in life. So you can always rely on that faith, and the master is all the time with you. Then he been telling you that you have projected yourself as your own master. And that is what you are going through, because Ishwar Puriji's each lecture, each talk is so intriguing, and it gives you a tremendous amount of knowledge to really imbibe that Sant Mat in you, so that you can live the whole knowledge. As sometimes I say that this is the knowledge, that after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living the knowledge and exploring it into your day-to-day life. So this is what the master's been telling us, and we should know that the master, perfect living master, deals with us. Even all those reincarnations take place, and in these reincarnations we die, as I told you, that from the astral region we come to the physical part. After we die here in this window where we are managing our karmas, we go back to the astral region, again collect some of the karmas and again come back. So this, dying is a regular process with us. And if your soul, if your creative intelligence, that attention, which is like an omni scanner, which can easily understand this, it is so nicely being told by all the sages, saints, so easy for us to understand. So we are enlightened people here, my dear. So we can understand all those areas, of our dreams. We now understand that it was a dream. I again go back to the area that God became from one to many, and one out of us had a dream to make a time-bound material creation. So that non-material entity created the material to have that experience. And then it made all those regions and the physical world came in. We as colleagues of that, because one out of us did it, colleagues of that, we also thought that we are also creators. We have got all those powers because we are part of the absolute. He is also part of the absolute. Kal is part of the absolute. Now we also decided that we can have a dream after seeing his dream. So in one of my talks, I did say this, that how we had a dream known as the causal mind and causal body, because that is where we acquired the mind, the laws of nature and information system, and had a sketch of a human body to feel this experience, to have these experiences of this time-bound material creation. So we started our journey and we did it. We wrote our DVDs, as very rightly all of you have understood that part. And that sketch we further refined into an astral mind and astral body, starting from a single cell to the crown of creation, the human body. So such a huge, big area. And all that can come into dreams also. As the other day, Ishwar Puriji been telling about a scholar in China that he was thinking that he is a butterfly. I think all of us understand that satsang which he did. So he thought he's a butterfly. And that is how we have to understand all these nitty-gritties of Sant Mat and be a happy person ever after. Because this life is a short dream. And out of those dreams, we had this dream. And again, this will go as a dream. And at the same time, you have been told that the saints operate from all the levels, right from Sachkhand, Par Brahm area, and the causal and astral and then physical. They can see all those areas. But what happens here with people like us, that we can feel only one, say this physical life. And once we go to the astral, then at least we can see two of them. As Ishwar Puri says that we can understand only one at a time. But once we go up, then we can operate at all the levels. But now then we think it is a dream. Then once we go to the astral region, we say that is a dream, this is a garbage. And once we go further, as Michael was telling. So this is how it has to be understood nicely. And I'm very sure we have done a bit of justice to the subject today. Dreams, reincarnation, and how perfect living master takes care of us. He wants to settle our accounts much better here and much faster. So sometimes people do complain that after taking initiation, they are suffering more problems. But at the same time, the master has told you one thing wonderful, that you have got the ability to face things as they come in life because you are a soul. Here is a dream. So with all that knowledge with you, you should live this life happily ever after. So that is the key of the whole area. And thank you very much for this opportunity to talk, for this seva. And thank you very much, Michael. It's great.
Those